discretion is advised.
Blu-ray releases over the last week and the upcoming releases for October 31st, since we didn't cover the 24th on the last podcast. And so some stuff that's already out. Of course, everybody knows Annabelle Creation came out, which I'm still excited to check that out. I know Dead Mike got the code for us to be able to share on our Vudu account. So That's pretty cool of you. We got Bloodbeat coming out from Vinegar Syndrome, along with the Corpse Grinders and Demon Wind, which all three are releases with their limited edition slipcovers.
Do they have like particular slips like Demon Wind, or is it just the one Demon Wind?
I know Bloodbeat has that really embossed one, and Corpse Grinders, that slip looks kind of retarded, but I'll probably pick all three up if they have a booth at Days of the Dead like usual.
I'm not digging. Corpse Grinders art I'm not a big fan of already, looking at it.
Yeah, I've heard it's not too great either, but I'm a sucker for those Vinegar Syndromes with slips. And you usually get the 4 for $60, so you can't really beat that. Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about not Corpse Grinders, but Demon Wind. So
yeah, me too. Everyone's saying that's awesome.
And Bloodbeat has nudity on the cover, so you got to get that.
Well, what about the Primeval and Lurkers? Is that the same Arrow too, or not Arrow but Vinegar Syndrome? Or
it looks like one of their releases.
Yeah, it does, but it's a double feature. I don't know.
Yeah, it's another Vinegar Syndrome release, so maybe I'll get that one as my fourth.
It's kind of confusing because the Arrow and them both have the white cases, right? So
the clear cases,
yeah.
Yep. So that's another Vinegar Syndrome release there. Yeah. You have one called Creep from 1995, which I know nothing about. The artwork on Blu-ray.com looks pretty interesting, to say the least. So it says it's limited to 100 copies. I don't know what that's all about. SRS Cinema release. Looks like it's burn on demand. It says BDR. So
I am kind of digging the Walking Dead, like that box set. That thing looks pretty badass. But
with
the spike zombie.
Walker with all the spikes and yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, but then again, I'm kind of falling away from it. Like at the same time, like I watched that new episode. Did you check out the new one?
The season premiere.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's kind of like that though, because the one thing that's thrown me away from Walking Dead is like they have a badass opening episode, and then
they'll talk forever.
Yeah, they'll talk forever, and like then the last episode will be good, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like every other episode something happens, so you have like an hour of just sitting around talking what they're going to do, and just having Negan taunting everybody a whole episode or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, I was kind of thrown off by some of those other. They had like 3 or 4 different storylines going on the premiere.
Yeah, the one where Rick was older, I didn't give a shit about either. Like, those were kind of stupid. Like, I hope they don't continue doing that shit. I want to see some crazy shit happen now. We've waited long enough.
I guess if I would have read the comics, I would have been more interested in it.
I'm not reading no fucking comics. Fuck that
but
shit.
Anyway. What else do we have coming out? We have Is that it for the 24th? You have a re-release for Uninvited, which I don't remember that being too great, if I remember correctly. And Web of the Spider. It's a Edgar Allan Poe adaptation. I don't know, Dracula and the Castle of Blood from Garage House Pictures. I have a clue what that studio is all about.
Yeah, I don't either.
But that looks like it's it for October 24th.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I got you. Alright. Now, 27. Well, no, nothing good. Alright.
The 27th is just some music-related stuff and some...
Yeah, you're right.
Diagnosis of a Murder.
I find that really weird, though, man, that Saturdays, I never knew that they released random crap. Like,
Well, that would have been Friday. Today's 28th.
Oh, you're right. I didn't. Wow, they do it Friday. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Do they do that often? Because I don't.
That's pretty cool. Jimi Hendrix experience at Monterey. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know they did that either. I've never seen them like in stores or anything. Must be an online type deal.
And do you know what's
Anyway,
do you know what's pissing me off with some of these collections? Okay, I see that they got Orphan Black on the 31st there, but the thing that pisses me off about some of these, they don't give you the digital codes. Like, what the fuck? Like the Chucky collection didn't have no damn digital code. Isn't that bullshit?
right. I also hate like I want to pick up some of the other seasons of American Horror Story and shit, but they don't have codes either.
What the fuck?
Or Bates Motel. Like I don't think the complete series.
No,
will have
it doesn't.
each season
Yeah.
it does, but I mean, if you're buying a whole season of something, you should get a code.
Yeah, that's the complete
I don't know why
series.
FX doesn't do codes with their seasons, but they need to really start doing that.
Well, the thing is, The Sopranos have a full code. I know True Blood's got a full code. I know Game of Thrones has a full code. Like, come on, these guys know where it's at, and these other guys,
I
come
mean,
on.
Walking Dead has codes. It's on network, television.
Right?
So why doesn't American Horror Story? I mean, it's popular enough to where it should.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Paying extra, more money than you are a regular movie.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of which, I did see they had a new one on there. The one after Cult, I don't remember what the hell.
yeah, that Roanoke.
Yeah, Roanoke. Is that supposed to be like a haunting one, or what's the... I don't even
No,
know.
Cult's the new one. That's the one that's on now.
But is Roanoke after... That's the one after Cult, right? Roanoke.
No,
that's-
Cult's the new one that's
Oh,
on
it's the newest... Okay.
right now.
I
yeah.
thought... Then why do they have Roanoke after? Because Roanoke, I think, is after it. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Maybe they just put it like that on Netflix. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. Moving on to the 31st, anyway. You have The Dark Tower comes out, which was kind of underwhelming. It was okay. I've seen it at the movies. I wouldn't run out and buy it right away or anything. You do have a steelbook of that, too, at Best Buy. It's one of the Project Pop Arts, which it's not great artwork, but it does look better than the Amaray release. So,
Yeah, I will check that out, Dark Tower. I'm curious about it.
and you have a 4K of it, too.
It's a Stephen King story, right?
So you can see poop in shiny, bright colors. And
Oh, nice.
yeah. I mean,
Can't wait
I
to see
didn't
it.
hate it because I didn't read the books, but you got an hour and a half movie with like a bunch of crap trying to get crammed in there. I mean, I'm sure they'll make more and explain more into detail, but
Yeah, and if you guys want to see the actual clothes, I have that stuff filmed on my last video on YouTube. Even though I know Days probably had it too, but don't matter. It's on the most recent video.
that was Whorehound we went to.
Yeah, Whorehound, and then the flea market.
They all blend together.
I know the haunted flea market, though. I know I saw the coat there of the one guy. But oh well.
And then you have the Scream Factory releases of Dawn and of the Dead and Land of the Dead. So I still want to pick up Dawn. I'll be probably picking it up later after the convention and stuff.
Yeah, it blows me away that they do the remake before. They never did the original, did they?
And they still have issues with the rights to it.
Oh, that sucks.
You just have to keep paying that $50, $60 price tag for the Anchor Bay release.
Wow, it's up that high. I didn't even realize that's that high still. Wow.
On a good day.
On a good day. Huh.
And then you have The Devil's Reign from Severin Films, which I'm not a big fan of Severin, so whatever. I don't know if the movie's any good or not. So if you guys have seen Devil's Reign, let me know if it's worth picking up or not.
Isn't that crazy, though? This shit's coming out on Halloween a little bit. 31st, I don't know. Like the Hellraiser Steelbook, I don't know. Like, that thing's cool, but you're right. We don't need that shit when we have the Scarlet Box. Fuck that shit.
All right. I mean, everyone owns some form of Hellraiser by now on Blu-ray. I mean, if I was still real big into steelbooks like I was for a while, then I'd pick it up, but I'm just kind of out of that phase. I don't know.
How much do the Arrow Steelbooks normally go for? Like, how much you gotta pay?
I'd say around 30 with tax and everything,
Oh, damn.
if not more. I don't know. Let's see. $26.71 on Amazon is what the Hellraiser is. So
Well-
yeah, like 30.
My question is with Hellraiser, how come we haven't got a fucking collection by this point? This is bullshit. And I get the rights and stuff, but come on, man. We've waited long enough. I mean, we just got the Scarlet Box, only 3.
Well, you know what? Maybe we should start our own company and
Release these collections finally. Get some of them out there.
I don't know. I would make everything true to collectors, man, because it's not just like your average movie connoisseur that's gonna buy this shit. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be people that want fucking booklets and they want notes on the films. They want art cards. They want the whole 9 yards, man. You know,
you
they don't want just a movie in a case.
You gotta make it nice, I know. That's a thing, too, is like... Because, I mean, most people do. They probably just get it on digital codes. They probably don't give a shit. You know, they don't want to take up space now, but...
Speaking of which, I'm surprised Scream Factory isn't going with digital codes in their movies by now.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be
They did it for Fender Bender had one. That's the only one I know of.
Yeah, but it's a crap
not
code, because you can't... put it
Right,
on
it's
Voodoo.
not like a voodoo code.
Yeah, it's on your email, you gotta watch it. It's like, fuck this shit. I'm not gonna go log in my email to watch that.
Well, you redeemed it through their website or something. That's what it was. I don't know. I ended up selling it.
Speaking
For a
of
couple
which,
bucks.
did you want to go over, like, stuff we picked up? Like, I got the Barn all signed up on Blu-ray Special Edition by the cast. That was the most recent thing I've picked up, and then what I got from the flea market. I got the Jackals too, but that was on my last update, and Hatred, but those are...
Dude, if I go over everything I picked up over there since the last update, man, it's going to be a minute. I mean, not as much as I usually do, because I've been saving for days.
Oh.
But, anyway, back to Devil's Reign from Severin. You have a regular Amaray release of it, and you have a slipcover version, which is going to be limited to their website. And it looks like you have not a whole lot else. Yeah, and you do have Slaughter High, which I received in the mail already a couple days ago, and did a video for. If you guys want to check out that unboxing and menu screen video I did for it.
Yeah, and he's the only one that does menu screens, just so you guys know, so you better jump on that shit.
I don't know if I'm the only one, but one of the few.
Yeah, I haven't seen another guy that does that, though, so I think you
Okay,
got...
I know this isn't horror, and we're really determined to stick with just straight horror releases. But why are they re-releasing Suicide Squad again? Like, why? I don't understand.
I just got for Suicide Squad, I just have the code, but mine's extended version, and then I have the original theatrical, but...
It's another still book.
That's a steelbook right there? It's not
Yeah.
just a... Oh, what the fuck?
I just clicked on it. It's still book, illustrated cover.
Yeah.
Why? And the artwork is fucking trash, man. It looks like my kid drew it.
Yeah, it doesn't look very good. It's definitely graphic arts again a little bit, you can tell.
Actually, the way Harley Quinn looks,
She looks like shit.
I don't like that at all. Yeah.
I want a sexy girl there, man. What the fuck is this shit?
It looks like the only other thing that might be horror related is the Vampire's Ghost from 1945.
Speaking of which, too, non-horror, I'm kind of excited about the complete series of Sherlock. I've seen them all. I do like the Sherlock series.
And then Vampire's Ghost is from Olive Films release. So at least you know it's going to be a good transfer.
Well,
Sorry, I cut you off there.
Oh, it's all good, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these two, so I don't know. Like the Suicide Squad, I guess at least they give you a fucking code.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of non-horror again, Scream or Shout Factory is re-releasing all these Studio Ghibli movies for those who care. Which kind of sucks because I only have a couple of them because I'm only buying them if they have slipcovers. But I don't want like two different studios mixed in
Yeah.
because I keep my Disney together and my Shout Factory together, and
You get like, don't you get like with your Disney, you're part of the club or something, so you get like those pins and everything. Are those worth a lot of money, the pins? Or...
I have no idea. I haven't really checked to see.
Oh, I was wondering
I don't
too.
know if any of them were like really limited or not, but I mean, some of them sit on there forever. I mean, they're free with like purchase when you're a VIP member, so I don't think they'd be worth much
What
unless
about
they're
like the
older.
certificate thing that they give you? I don't know. Some people like make a big deal about those. I don't know.
Yeah, you get a certificate with the pen,
Oh.
and then you get the lithograph stuff.
Or the lithographs go for money, or
I honestly
don't
haven't
know.
checked, man.
Oh.
I only get them for the real like classic movies. You know, I'm not gonna get them for like pirates and all
That's
that kind of shit. I'm just
Well, that's one thing with digital codes too, man. Is Disney is definitely by far the one that makes the most money on digital codes. They never go down. They're always the same price. Like if you're trying to make money on codes, that's where you got to go, Disney.
yeah. Well, sometimes you know, when it's a big release and everybody's selling the code, you're like, you know what, just $5, $4. I just want to get rid of it.
Well, yeah, like the Annabelle one, that's probably like 4 to 6 right now going because it's new. But
Yeah, and there is another Arrow video release on the 31st for JD's Revenge. I'm sure that's not a horror movie, but it is an Arrow release, so I know a lot of people collect Arrow. It's not one I'll probably pick up, but
yeah, I'm not picking it up.
so yeah, that's it for the releases. You can go ahead and
I'm a jibber jabber about chicks. I'm bored.
yeah, just let us know what you picked up since last time.
Yeah, like I said before, the barn all signed up by the cast. I think you can still get those on their site, I'm sure, for the Blu-rays, but I think they're starting to run out. Because you got the DVD, right? You got,
Yeah, I got the
Family
DVD that
Family
picked it up
Video?
a while ago.
Or
Yeah.
wait, did you get it at the convention?
No, I got it from Family Video for $5.
Oh, I got you.
So you can't beat that. You know?
Yeah, it's probably
I wish they
still
would have
there.
had the video game with it.
I didn't even know there was a video game, but they sell, like, toys and everything for that shit, like, for those characters.
Speaking of toys, you can get a figure for Cornelius from Night of Something Strange. I think that was his name.
Did you ever
You
hear
can get
about...
his figure.
Did you ever hear about the necromantic figures? They were $100 and they're just like the normal, you know, those little those figures where Jason, Leatherface, and Scream and all of them are like the little small, like 3.5-inch ones or whatever. They're like a little card on the back. They're kind of like the old Star Wars figures.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
like those ones. Yeah, they did one like that for necromantic, and it was the naked chick with the skeleton. That thing was $100 because they were limited to like so many, and he signed every single one of them. The director did, but fuck that shit.
I'm still yet to watch those movies, man. They're still in the shrink wrap. I don't know. And
We'll
with the
watch
day
them.
shift now, man. My kid's always awake, and that's not something that's family time.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those bizarre films. You let us know, guys, if you want us to watch those, by the way, so we can push Dan to do it. Or just stay up late or something. I don't know. I had to watch them late, and my wife woke up halfway through one of those movies, and that didn't go too well. She's like, "What kind of weird? You're into some weird, sick-ass shit." And I'm like, "No, I wanted to watch it."
You know, a lot of people say they suck. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say
Especially the first one, but I don't know. I got about 16 pickups for horror releases.
Well, I still got some more, man. I did, like,
Go ahead.
yeah, you forgot about me, Dan. What the hell?
No, I didn't. Man, go ahead.
All right, yeah, I got the Insidious 2, and then I traded off my digital code, and then what else did I get? Yeah, I got that, and then I got Lords of Salem. Would that be technically horror? Would you consider that horror?
Yeah. I mean, it's still Rob Zombie. It's still, you know.
The only reason I picked it up because it had the fucking lenticular slip on the DVD, and that was the only.
How does that go again? How's that pronounced?
Lenticular slip.
There you go.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Pointed it out. They want to notice, but now they will notice.
I think you said lenticular.
Whatever. But yeah, I got like, I don't know, the most recent I would say would be Jackals, which I've showed on my updates, like on YouTube if you guys watch that, and same with The Hatred, I think is the other one.
Oh my God, The Hatred was so bad.
I know, you didn't like it.
No.
I
hated The Hatred, yes.
Well, I did like that they brought the Wishmaster man back. I mean, it's cool that he's back in movies. Like, I hope they...
I liked his character, man.
His character was cool.
That was the only saving grace to that film, though. That was...
Yeah, if he wasn't in that film, I agree. It would probably have been garbage, but, yeah. I mean,
Speaking of, and same thing with Jackals, man. That was, if it wasn't for Steven Dorff's character, it probably would have been terrible.
yeah. Well, Jackals, I liked elements of it, but the problem was with Jackals was,
Just giving back.
yeah, like, well, I mean, I wish it had more to do with, like, I wish that cult or whatever the fuck he was a part of, like, that gang or whatever the hell they were. I mean, the one thing that made no sense with that shit is, like, I mean, they were a huge group, too. You'd think, like,
They would just bum rush the house.
yeah, you'd think some more crazy shit would happen than them just standing there, but I don't know. I mean, I just don't really buy it, I guess, would be the best way to put it with the group, because, I mean, when you have that many members, don't you feel like there'd be a rat that would fucking rat your asses out? I mean, there's no way.
And I kind of wanted to see like something with the cult he was in, man. Like like them doing stuff besides like before they got to the house or something. Like what they were all about, or it doesn't even tell you what the cult's for. Like
He's just obsessed with them, yeah.
it just.
And well, I mean, the guy was fucked up too. Like, wasn't he gonna like sacrifice his own kid or some shit, like his own baby? Like, and he didn't give a shit about his wife either, like, or girlfriend or whatever the hell it was. And
While he was possessed.
yeah, I didn't even realize he was possessed. I just thought he was like sick.
Did you watch the movie?
I did watch the movie, but he was
Yeah,
just
he
like,
was possessed the whole time, except for when he was like, get out of here and take the kid with you.
I thought he was just like turning over to like the cult group, like it made him, because they were around, it made him like crazy and shit. I didn't realize that he had like a ghost or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he was being controlled by supernatural forces, man.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really like that movie now. I thought he was just crazy as shit. Like, I thought that would have been a better angle.
There was something wrong with him to where he wasn't thinking for himself,
Dude,
like,
it would have been better, though, if he was fucking nuts. It would have been better. I don't know.
there was something going on.
Because the supernatural shit doesn't make any sense. There's no goddamn ghosts in that shit.
So anyway, what else you pick up?
That's pretty much it. Like, I don't know, the ones I read off for the Blu-rays, I mean, and then, yeah, that flea market, I got some, and I don't know, I went to Dollar Tree, but those aren't really horror. The rounds 2, Reloaded, and then I picked up pretty much the same ones you did, like that Western one.
Oh, that Blackthorn or whatever.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. That might be good.
Yeah. I like newer westerns. I'm not a big old like John Wayne fan or anything like that, but
Yeah, the black and white ones are kind of hard to get through.
yeah. So anyway, my pickups were, of course, Jackals as well, and picked up the '88 Films release of Just Before Dawn with the slipcover, the Slasher Classics collection. Got a really good deal on Facebook group. It goes for like $30-40 with the slip, and I got it for like 15 off a buddy. So I don't know if it constitutes as horror or not, but 47 meters down. Did you watch that on my Voodoo code?
Yeah, it was just like a 6 out of 10. I mean, it was cool, but at the same time, it's just like one area, the shark and stuff is, and I don't know.
I don't think it's something I'm gonna watch again.
Yeah.
You know what happens. It just
Yeah, it's decent. For a first watch, it's definitely good, I would say, but
it's good to watch for free on someone else's code. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm friends with you. Don't even watch your
Just fucking
codes.
use me, man. Yeah. And if you guys watch my channel, I did unboxing for the Rawhead Rex from Kino Lorber. So pick that one up from the story from Clive Barker, who has disowned that film, like doesn't want anything to do with it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they said that you can read up on his website why he doesn't want anything to do with it. I just didn't do it. And of course, we both watched Cult of Chucky. He watched my code. I bought the real one.
No, I didn't watch your code. You never put it. I got it on Netflix. Remember?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watched it on Netflix, but still, you're a fucking scavenger. Yeah.
Whatever, man. I got more movies than you on there. But,
what do you think of Cult of Chucky?
I don't know, man. The ending to that movie, like, I thought the movie was pretty damn good, a lot of it, but, like, I loved it where, they brought back the kid and like him coming back with all the guns. I was all pumped like he was gonna fuck some shit up, and I was like, fuck yeah, he's coming back. He's sick and tired of Chucky. He's gonna fuck some shit up. And the payoff at the end there, with not spoiling it or anything, I don't know, like.
I loved seeing everybody back though, man.
It was
tough.
cool, yeah, but
I just didn't understand how like all of a sudden he can make like multiples, man.
yeah,
Like,
the multiple, we'll spoil that for you guys, but that's not, you probably already kind of know by the trailers.
right. I mean, that's the whole point of the cult, you know.
Yeah.
Have
But
multiple
the thing
Chucks.
is, I thought they would be like, I didn't realize the cult of Chucky was just the multiple Chuckies. I thought it was going to be like, this group of kids trying to get Chucky back, like a whole like actual cult itself is what I was thinking originally, and then I put it in and it was like nothing like that. But yeah, I mean it's a sequel off to Curse of Chucky, so
Right.
directly.
So if you haven't seen Curse, you definitely want to
you
watch
can't-
that first.
Yeah, you cannot watch this one really because you won't understand the girl.
I'm glad they like. I mean, a lot of people say it's like the same shit over and over. Like they need to do something different with Chucky, but I think Curse really revitalized and redid the franchise. Myself,
I personally like Curse is one of my favorite ones of the
right?
Chucky
I mean,
films.
after Seed of Chucky, it's like, oh god, it can't get any worse, you know. And then
Yeah.
they redeemed themselves with Curse, and then this. I like this, you know, the way they're going with it.
It's better than Seed, but I don't know.
I still love Bride, man. A lot of people hate Bride of Chucky, but
I like
love
Bride. I like Bride too. Bride's
I
a
think
good
it's
one.
hilarious and just, I don't know. It's just something about it that I love.
The two that I hate the most out of the series would definitely be Child's Play 3 and Seed of Chucky would probably be mine out of the ones that I don't care for as much. But yeah, the rest of them, I mean, yeah, the cult, it could have been better for me, but just with the ending, but the rest of it was pretty cool. It's just the ending, the way it ended, I didn't really care for. But yeah, you enjoyed it a lot though. Like I think you said you gave it like a 6. I gave it like a 5 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Another one I picked up was Dead Time Stories, which was it was okay from Scream Factory. And
That's
still
short.
haven't watched. No, that's not George Romero's.
Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
you. There's one kind
Uh,
of, I forget.
yeah, this is one where it starts off with like the ugly witches in the woods or something. And
Oh, never mind then. Yeah.
I don't know. It was alright. I picked up Devil's Candy on Blue, even though I know it's on Netflix, so I haven't watched it. I heard it's really awesome.
It's pretty good.
I got a review copy in from Cohen Media Group for The Old Dark House with Boris Karloff. They sent it to me. I did a review for it. If you guys want to check that out on my channel.
Is that black and white?
Hey guys, welcome back to the Horror Movie Project Podcast. I'm Dan from Reject Films.
I'm Dead Michael.
And today we're doing a Halloween special, trying to do movies more related to just the whole theme of Halloween and everything. So we're going to be doing Halloween 3, Trick or Treat, and Tales of Halloween. We actually took a survey on Facebook for the first two, and Trick or Treat and Halloween 3 were the top two out of the ones that we listed to do the podcast for. And Tales of Halloween, we decided to just kind of throw in there as it was, just real Halloween themed and something neither one of us had seen yet, so we just wanted to do something a little bit different on that one. So we're going to start with Halloween 3. It was the biggest winner of the movies surveyed there on Facebook. Released in 1982, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. You want to run through a quick synopsis for us, or?
Yeah, so it's pretty much about the masks this whole movie is. Like, the three, the pumpkin, the witch, and the skull mask. The company that, Silver Shamrock. It's got nothing to do with Michael Myers, even though everyone thinks it does, because when you first watch it, I was kind of pissed too when I first saw this, because I was like, where the hell is he at? But you just gotta separate it.
Yeah, I held off watching it for a long time since I knew he wasn't in it. watched it the first time, I think, a year ago.
Yeah, I thought the cover was kind of strange because you would think that they'd plaster Myers on the cover, but it's just Season of the Witching of those three kids walking the background there. But yeah, it's pretty much Silver Shamrock. They don't want people exposing their secret, as in the beginning of the movie there. It's like kind of like I feel like it's more like a Big Brother type town that they have. They watch everything, they know everything type of thing. Like they control, I feel like, everything too, like medical to probably your commercials and everything else. It seemed like, didn't it seem like that? Like they own that town, that factory.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I mean, everybody kind of looks up to that factory being their main source of income for that town and everything like that. You can kind of relate it to like a tourist town, I guess, you know, where that's like its main focus.
Yeah, it just seemed like they ran, like, I mean, they had cameras so that, and they could hear everything too, apparently, so.
Yeah, and they had that curfew set in place as well.
Yeah, I forgot all about that, that you had to be home at a certain time or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was like 9 o'clock or something, or whatever it was.
So yeah, they're trying to sell those masks to everybody, and everyone's crazy about those 3 new masks. The kids are nuts about them, and they just want everyone buying them. They even got salespeople running around trying to sell them, and they have them at all the stores. It seems like every store they went to had like a display of them in the front there.
Yeah, and of course the constant commercial for them.
Yep, that's on a lot, so you're gonna hear that commercial a billion times about Silver Shamrock telling you to wait. And it counts down too, I believe, like 7 days till Halloween, and then like it starts to every time the commercial plays, doesn't it, like tell you it's closer and closer?
Yeah, it starts at like 7th or 8th day, and then goes down to like, you know, the day of or whatever. Yeah, that's one reason my wife wasn't looking forward to rewatching this one, because of that commercial playing constantly. But
yeah, yep,
does get a little bit annoying at times, but
I mean, I guess a quick run through with it, up to like the more focused part of it. It's like, you know, that guy runs away from the factory, made some kind of order, some deal with them, and he was like never heard from again. But the thing is he runs away from these guys that follow him from the factory and try to get the masks. He's trying to expose them, and they kill him, obviously, because he ends up in the doctor's office, and that's when Tom Atkins, or who does he play again?
Dan, I believe. Right?
Yeah, he gets involved because he's at the medical place, and that guy's daughter seeks him out to figure out, like, you know, what was going on, I guess.
Yeah, he sees the killer kill himself in the car, and he even has another person trying to analyze, you know, the remains of it, and can't find any like human remains.
Yeah, and they pretty much try to shut down, like, even that person analyzing it. They try to control everything. Like, those guys in suits kind of come over there and, like, you know, if you figure their shit out or their secret, you're dead, kind of. They just shut you up. So he's trying to get to the bottom of it, and they stay at that hotel. Him and that girl take off, and I think he just calls like his ex-wife, right? And like he's just like, yeah, I'll be gone for a while. It's a doctor trip or something.
Yeah, there's a little side, you know, love story between them two in there, but not really relevant to the story. So
not really, no. It's kind of just random as hell. Hey, let's go on this trip together. I just met you at the bar. Okay.
So them two try to investigate the facility, take the little tour and stuff.
Yep, and that's when you see the salesman, people, that family, and everyone ends up at like that hotel. The other person was somebody that was ordering masks, and she was pissed off about an order or something and wanted to go directly to the company and get it, which seems kind of, you know, extreme to get masks, but gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
Well, you didn't have today's technology of being able to email and do all that stuff, so you had to kind of, you know, go out on your own, I guess. But
it'd probably be like a catalog or something, and a phone number. That's probably all you'd get.
And she finds that little mechanism on the what do you call it, their trademark that they put on the mask, those little pins.
Yeah, the silver shamrock thing. It's got like something in there. It's got like electronic crap in it, and it fell like right off. I think of the one she had. But yeah, I don't know. It's he. Can't think of Tom. Who is Tom play again? Can't think of
Dan. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that lady, she's messing with the pin or whatever, and zaps herself or whatever, and the silver shamrock people come and get her body.
Yeah, and they bring her to the factory.
That's what makes them really want to go out and investigate. Like, why are they taking her there instead of the hospital? Like.
Yeah, there's people at that factory like all time. It's like a 24-hour facility, and that one main guy that has all the money and owns it all, he always shows up like when an incident happens, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, guys, it's all taken care of." And then the townspeople like know better not to mess with him, I guess. Like they're like, "He's a great man," They're all like, "Do what you're told," kind of. They know the rules and all that, so they kind of just stay in line. Besides the homeless dude.
Yeah, what was his name? Cochran or something?
Right. Yeah. He's like telling them how they didn't hire any locals for the factory. It was they're all brought in, and really, I think what got him killed by the factory people is he made a comment that he was going to burn it down, and just kind of ran his mouth. And he's like, "They're hearing me right now, but I don't give a shit." I think right after he like talks to Dan or whatever, he gets killed pretty much shortly after. Goes back to his little hut, and they get him. They always like to press on the eyes too. I noticed the robots.
Yeah. Yeah. And men of few words too. I think one sneezes once, and that's about it.
Yep. And so yeah, like going back kind of with the tour, they didn't show him that one room, and I think he was really Dan wanted to get to the bottom of it and try to figure that out. And
yeah, the final processing.
Yep. And I'm not even sure if their salesman person is just sitting in the factory the whole time or what's going on with them, but they stick them in a separate room and test it on them, I think, like, see what it would do. I'll make sure it goes right, but the factory owner is like, apparently he's like they claim he's like into witchcraft or something, right? And he's gonna sacrifice all these souls to the TV or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure about all that. I don't remember it being.
Well, he said something. He had like Stonehenge or something.
Yeah,
it
was something to do with Stonehenge. I know earlier in the film they show like something on Stonehenge on like the TV or something.
Yeah.
And then like he's talking about how hard that was to get here and everything. They're using like pieces of Stonehenge or something.
Yeah, he's trying to I don't know if he's trying to get like the power of a god of some sort or whatever, but he's trying to do the sacrificing again that he claimed happened. I don't know. He went into detail about this, and I think that's when he tied him up, he's like, "This is like witchcraft or something." I'm not even sure. Like, it's just I think really what it was is he wants to get harvest the power of some sort of god, or I don't know if they're trying to bring back a deity by sacrificing all these people or what it was. Something among those lines, I think. I don't know.
I think it was he says something like people lost focus of what Halloween really means and stuff and all that. Yeah. But yeah, before that though, he gives that little kid the pumpkin mask or whatever when they're doing that walkthrough.
Yeah.
And then they take him into that testing room later, and the mask just ruins that kid, and you get all the stuff crawling out of him and ends up taking his parents out too.
Yep.
That was a pretty gruesome scene right there.
Yeah, it's snakes coming out of his mouth and stuff, yeah. The snakes, too, I'm guessing they're poisonous or something, even though they kind of look like gardener snakes, but they got them. They're all dead in that testing zone. And then, yeah, Tom and that girl.
I think it was Allie, right? Was her name?
Yeah.
Or Ellie. Ellie. Yeah.
And the one thing I noticed too is they play freaking Halloween a million times in this movie.
Oh,
too.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
always
It's kind of like one of the movies will be, covering here soon. They're always playing Night of the Living Dead in the background. Yeah.
yep. And I think he explains it to him after he knows he's gonna kill him.
Yeah, just like they always do. The villain always tells them the plan before killing him and thinks everything's going to work out.
Well, the main business guy or whatever, the owner, he's very calculated with his shit. Like stuff goes on. Doesn't Dan goes over there and fucks up like that antique one he had of that lady, and he's like irreplaceable. He's like very rare piece. I'm gonna have to get a new one now because he like fucks it up.
Yeah, the old lady that was sitting there knitting or whatever.
Yeah,
she was pretty creepy.
Yeah, and he like breaks that, and he's just like talking about that. And he's like, "Oh, okay, hey." He doesn't even like get mad at him. He just goes.
Yeah, he keeps his composure really well.
Yep.
And then there was even the scene where he finds that box of the buttons or whatever and pours them down into where they're all working and everything, and
that fucks everything up. Yeah.
And then the Cochran guy just kind of applauds him, just kind of claps, keeps his composure still. Like,
and then he gets zapped.
Like, maybe he just killed all your guys, and you're just like, okay, yeah.
Well done. You succeeded. Yeah. I was surprised they took him out that easy, but yeah, they after that happens, it's like does like a circle like electricity thing, and then it does a zap to the stone, right? Like
yeah.
That's what kills Cochran, or he just vanishes. I don't even know what the hell happens to that guy. But yeah, then he runs to that gas station like in the beginning of the movie with the one dude trying to get away from the robots. Kind of like, tells him about the mask or whatever, and he goes there and he's like, "Take it off the air."
Yeah, he's trying to get a hold of all the television channels and get that commercial off.
But it's still on one channel. But the thing is too is like, okay, if the factory and everything, the Stonehenge thing's done doing its thing, like how the hell is the commercial still?
Right, because that's where it was broadcasting from.
That's what I was confused by. Yeah, it's like if that place is taken out, like, and it was burning down when they ran away. You saw it on fire or whatever. They ran away. Like, how is this thing still going to take effect?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure as smart as that Cochran guy was, he probably had a backup location somewhere.
Yeah, he must have
set on a timer or something
to still go off. Yeah, and then he tried to get his like ex-wife to tell us, and she's pissed off at him for leaving because probably had to. I'm sure they had like agreement with the kids at certain times, and she's probably just like fuck you.
Yeah.
So she wanted nothing to really do with him. And he's trying to get her to not have the kids watch it, and they probably end up do watch it because they want to get that special prize.
She's just like, oh, you're just jealous because I got him those masks and you got him, crappy ones. And
yeah, you see the crappy mask for like 2 seconds, the ones he picks up for him.
She doesn't want to listen to anything he's got to say.
Which is surprising, too, because he's a doctor, dude. He's got making a lot of money. You think he'd be able to buy him some really cool-ass masks.
Nah, if they're going through a divorce or something,
Yeah, good point.
She probably took it all.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, the movie just kind of ends on, leaving you hanging
the one
or whatever.
Channel. Yeah, they take out a couple of the channels, which is surprising that the network even listens to them, because most likely they'd be like, fuck you, we want the ratings of this commercial going on. It's weird, though, because you're right, the back facility somehow made the commercial go through. So, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if this movie was like a sign of the times, kind of like Romero used to do, with all his Dead films, where it's like, showing how society is at that time, being controlled by certain corporations or something.
Maybe.
If it was more of a political statement or...
what's going on, yeah.
I mean, I guess you can kind of take it either way, just as that or just as a, fun horror film.
Yeah. Reminded me more of like a Big Brother type, that corporation ran everything. Like, they had their own doctors, they had their own... Cochran, pretty much, that town was in his back pocket, he owned it. You knew you could pretty much get away with anything you wanted to. And if people stepped out of line, you just kill them. So,
Yeah, and as we were talking earlier, I think we both agree, you know, if this would have been called Season of the Witch instead of Halloween
Yep.
3, it would have definitely done a hell of a lot better.
they could have just called it Halloween Season of the Witch because, you know, not just doing Halloween 3 in there was... They should have never put that in there. Because everyone thought Michael Myers was in it. I thought the same thing when I watched it. I was pissed as fuck because I couldn't separate... Like, when I first watched this, I was like, what the fuck is this? Because you're waiting for Michael Myers to come. And I was just mad because Michael Myers wasn't in it. But then when I separated it as its own movie, you know, it's not really... it's just kind of a fun horror film, I guess. Like, something you'd separate to...
It did have a couple good gore scenes, though, like when they ripped the one guy's head off, and
Yeah.
like I say, the pumpkin scene, you know, getting all decayed and nasty on that kid. And I think it
Guy
had
that
like
blew himself up in the car.
maybe 3 or 4 scenes. Nothing over the top or anything, but I think
like
it's a good family watch too. Like there's no nudity in it or anything like that. I don't think. Maybe a little
No,
bit in the hotel
Not
room.
really.
But
I don't think there is, because the one chick, she's naked in the shower, and they have like that
I
glass
think you
door.
might get a little bit of side boob at one point, but that's about
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
But I mean, my kid watches it with us. You know, I think it's, you know, related to kids more too because of the mask and the kids wearing the mask and everything.
Yeah, I guess it's just how picky whoever watches it with you, you know, if they don't want to watch older stuff, because I know people like my family, they wouldn't touch this film just because it's older.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, the thing is, like, it's not like a guy with a knife, you know, killing
Yeah.
people, you know, so it's not as, like, graphic.
Yeah.
For younger
It's more of a
people.
family film, like one you could watch with everybody. Family friendly, in other words.
So, yeah, this got a 4.7 on IMDb. What would you give it?
I'd probably give this one, I don't know, I was thinking maybe like a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's, I don't know, like, when I first would have rated this, probably would have murdered it. I probably would have slaughtered the rating just because I was pissed because Myers wasn't in it, but after I separated it, I mean, there's some boring parts, but I think it's a, you know, a pretty good film for what it is, for its time and whatnot.
Yeah, I think Tom Atkins did really good in it, though. I mean, he's definitely the best actor in this film.
Yeah, for sure. And then you have the Michael Myers killer, that Dick Warlock guy. He plays a robot, right?
Yep. And then, like I said, Jamie Lee Curtis doing the voice of the curfew announcer, and you had Carpenter still involved in the writing on here, too, so...
Yeah.
I mean, at least some of the original people were involved with this film at some point.
I think, wasn't their main intention to, like, do Halloween, like, different stories?
Yeah, they were going
kind
to
of?
do a different one each time. And
Yeah.
people were so upset about not having Myers in 3 that they decided to go back and, you know, bring him back in the 4th one.
Did it flop in theaters, or did it do...
I'm looking at it. Looks like it had a budget of $2.5 million is all it cost to make this, and they grossed over $14.5 million.
Okay,
like
never
that.
mind then. They
So
did
it did pretty good, you know, compared to what it cost to make it. It wasn't a very expensive film for sure.
Yeah. So,
I'm
what would
probably
you
right
rate
there
it?
with you, probably a 6 or 6.5 out of
Yeah.
10. It would probably be a little bit higher if it wasn't just so annoying at times with the commercial. Like it's
Yeah.
just overdone a little bit. But so I think everybody, you know, performed really well in it, and you know, I think we both liked, you know, Atkins and the guy that played Cochran or whatever. You know, they
Yeah,
had a good
Cochran was pretty good.
chemistry between the two. You know, the hero villain type side of it.
Yep.
I was trying to think of what could have made it better, you know, but I mean, it's just a product of its time, you know, at this day and age.
Yeah, I thought it was cool to incorporate the Stonehenge stuff in it. Like, even though, like,
Yeah, I think it's the
They're
first time we've seen that in a horror film. Like,
yeah, trying to incorporate some type of sacrifice of all these people to... It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of one of its own with that because you see that with other films too. But if you think about how many people would have watched TV back then compared to people just having Netflix and stuff now, it's a lot different than back then. Everyone was probably glued to their televisions because they had nothing else to watch. You couldn't
Right.
VHSs and all that. You were just kind of screwed. You
Yeah,
had to
with your
watch
4 different channels. That's
Yep.
about it. Yep.
So you were kind of tied into that thing. That thing kind of told you everything, and you just kind of
Yeah, I mean,
I
this
guess
movie came
followed
out
it.
the year I was born, so I can kind of relate to, that time,
Yep.
frame. It kind of had like a Stephen King vibe to it too, like that small town, setting. Like a lot of his adaptation movies have.
Where it's based around just like a couple of the characters trying to figure out
Right.
what the hell's going
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
But,
Yep.
Yep. I think that's about it for this one. Let us know what you guys think of Halloween 3. Um, I know it's got a lot of love, hate for it, so. And you guys think they should have went that route with having a different one every time, or did they do the right thing by going back to Michael?
Yep. Let us know in the comments and whatnot. So.
So yeah, we'll move on to Trick or Treat, not Trick or Treat, with from the 80s, but Trick or
Yep.
Treat from 2007. Yeah.
I feel like Sam from this is kind of a horror icon out of like the more recent years, in like the 2000s. Like,
Now, how do they know his name was Sam?
I don't know, just Sam something. I don't know how everyone calls him that, but it's what
I don't think it says it in the movie at any point.
I'm gonna find out. Let's look it up.
I don't know. I think he just got named that, or it's just in the credits, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know how it.
So anyway, yeah, Trick or Treat 2007. Not a whole lot of well-known names in here. Trying to see if there's any, Anna Paquin, Brian Cox, Leslie Bibb.
Sookie from True Blood. I can't think of her name. I'm sure you just named her. I'm talking about
I didn't watch
the
True
little
Blood,
red.
so.
Oh, the Little Red Riding Hood chick. She's been
Oh,
X-Men and
okay.
other stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it starts out on Halloween night. There's a couple like coming home from probably like a party or something, and
Yep.
they're getting ready to call tonight. The husband wants to kind of leave stuff out, and the wife wants to have everything took down and all that. She's not like a fan of Halloween or whatever, so she's out there taking stuff down, and
She blows out the candle.
yep. And
Sam sees it.
so Sam ends up taking her out, slices her with the old popsicle there.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I need to get one of those at the conventions, man. They always have them, and I never think to buy one.
Yeah, I need to get a Sam shirt. 'Cause I know they have those too. I don't know.
So yeah,
He's kind of iconic.
and then it just kind of shifts from there, like quick, to like this group of girls that are all hanging out, right?
Yeah.
And they're trying
You think-
to get people to go to this party and stuff.
In the woods, yeah. They get like their costumes, and one of them gets one of the guys from the costume store, and then
They get
They
the
ask,
TV
like,
people or
the
whatever.
TV people, yeah, and they just jump on it and go with them, and then
And then it kind of goes to the little fat kid from Bad Santa.
yeah, it was. He did look familiar. Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
sure what he was from.
I was almost positive. He just has that look, man. Like you can't
He's
mistake
busting
him.
up pumpkins. Yeah, he's breaking pumpkins, and he goes over there, and the one guy, the principal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sees him, and then he offers him some candy, and he puts something in there to make him throw up. I don't know if it was pure poison, because I don't know
I'm not really sure.
if he just put stuff to make him throw up in there or what, but because does he snap his neck or just
No, because
snap?
he's still kind of alive as he's trying to bury him in the backyard there.
Oh.
He's moving around and stuff.
Huh.
I thought he snapped his neck. I thought he killed him. But
Yeah, well, there was other bodies in there too. Maybe it was one of the. I remember a clown guy kept trying to move or something. Some kid, but he's burying them all in the back,
yeah, and you got his little kid in the window in the house, like
screaming and shit.
are we gonna carve pumpkins? And he's just all keeping calm and content, trying to get the bodies took care of, and
He's
his
like,
neighbor's
"Shut
yelling
up."
at him, and
Yeah, the neighbor's dog. He freaking rips off a finger and throws it over to the dog. So he like stops barking, and that's a side story in its own too. The neighbor.
right, which goes more into effect towards the end of the movie.
Yep. But you understand what's going on because you see the neighbor, like he says, "Help me," and then after he walks in, he's like, "Screw you," because they obviously don't really care for each other much. But yeah, that was pretty funny when his neighbor walks out. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Because he sees him like in a hole, and then he's just like, "It smells like a dead whore out here," or something. That was pretty funny. Like he's like, "Fix that. The septic tank." He's like, "Oh, it's my septic tank acting up."
Yeah, and then you think the principal guy is getting ready to kill his own kid there, and turns out they're carving the fat boy's head together.
Yep.
So he's already got his kid, you know, all fucked up.
And he's just handing out candy at the door when he leaves because he's got to go on the date apparently, which means he goes and finds women to be a vampire too, pretty much, and kill them.
And then it goes to a the group of kids going around, right? And they're trying to collect pumpkins and stuff like that. So they stop at the one house and pick up another girl there. They all kind of go to that rock quarry.
They're pretty much just going there to fuck with her.
Yeah. They do like the flashback scene of the school bus massacre or whatever that took place.
Yep. There's a lot going on in this film, and they
I'm trying
go
to run through it as quick as possible, but you go to that, and they kind of try to play a prank on the one girl, and it backfires on them. And the kids from the massacre come back and take out all those kids, except for the one girl.
Because she goes in the elevator thing, goes up.
And she's enjoying them getting took out. They were all picking on her and shit. And then you got, what?
The bus driver.
What is after that?
Yeah.
Oh, the chick dressed as Red Riding Hood gets the one guy, the principal from...
I'm thinking he bit the one chick and, like, the vein on her thigh killed her. The one chick he kills in the...
Well, he kills her before they take him.
Yeah, he kills that one girl, but I'm surprised she doesn't lift off his mask because he's a hell of a lot older than her. Like, I don't know, like...
I don't think they care at that point.
Yeah, they're probably just drunk as fuck and makes out...
So yeah, you find out the group of the hot chicks or whatever are actually werewolves and shit.
Yep, and the one vampire guy follows the Red Riding Hood chick out there in like a, I don't know, like isolated area while she's walking to the party, and she like throws them there, and they think it's her at first when they lift up the covers, but it's him all crippled up or whatever. And and then it's like her first time eating them or killing them or...
Yeah, it was her first taste of blood, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And then it just kind of goes back to the neighbor. And
Sam watches. Yeah,
Sam's watching everything.
Yeah.
That goes on here. So you don't know if he's kind of like controlling what goes on or if he's just enjoying it. But
yep, he's always in the distance.
And then Sam gets a hold of the neighbor there, who turns out to be the bus driver from the flashback scene earlier on.
I know, who plays that older guy, because I've seen him before.
I'm not really sure. What was his name in that?
I'm not sure either, but...
Was that the Brian Cox guy? Is that who that is?
He's like the only one that successfully...
Mr. Creed?
Yeah, he's the only one, though, like, with... Like, the bad guys coming at him, kind of like the scary dudes. He's like the only one that successfully does anything. Takes, he actually kicks some ass. And
yeah,
like
as he's
all
like
these
having
people,
the hardest time breathing out of anybody.
Yep, he's like doing horrible because he's older and stuff. But he's got his bottle of booze and his candy. He steals from all those kids because he sicks his kid out, or his dog. I don't know. Yeah, that fucking shotgun came in handy. That's all I can say.
Looks like he's been in stuff like the Bourne movies and Braveheart and
Yeah, I thought I recognized
all that
him.
kind of stuff. I know that name, I just couldn't place.
And
yeah,
he's putting up photos, and it was all the bus driver, so you relate him to that character.
Yeah, I was looking for a credit for bus driver, but it doesn't say it on there. I think that's who it was, though. Mr. Gibbs or Mr. Krieg was his name.
Yep.
So yeah, him and Sam are fighting it out in his house, and that's when
does he first like light all the pumpkins up, and then he goes out there and is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, well, no, because it was like he thought it was his neighbor's kid. He's like, get your freak kid out of my yard. And then he like sees him, and then he like lights all those pumpkins up, and pretty much gets in that house. They duel it out for a while.
You see Sam's true self there.
Yep. He gets shot at a couple times, like, and I was surprised, like, I forgot all about, like, the battle between them two, that, he actually survived it. I thought he was going to knock him out with that sucker at the end there, especially, but just picks up the piece of candy on him. But yeah, they battle it. It's actually a pretty entertaining battle with those two. Like, he's like, who the hell are you? Because he, like, shoots him, and he takes the pumpkin mask off, like, of his face, or, like, his true face is, like, a pumpkin kind of, right, that's carved, but, like, doesn't he have, like, another mask over that face?
Yeah, it looks like that's over something else, too.
Yeah.
Like maybe his regular face underneath.
Yeah. And he fucks him up, too, because he shoots off the arm with the shotgun, and shoots him quite a few times, because he just has all the bolts on his robe walking around.
Well, like Sam does slice him up from underneath the bed early on. Gets his ankle or whatever. His
Achilles tendon or whatever. So he can't walk as good as...
Yeah, so he already can't breathe very well, and now he's limping.
Yep. Yeah, he falls down the stairs, I think, too, and then that Sam crawls over the fucking top. That was really cool, when Sam came from the top and was crawling on the... Mm-hmm. You see him in the distance there. Yeah,
it was definitely a well-shot battle between them two. Very atmospheric.
Yep. I don't know. It's like one of the best parts of the movie, I feel like, because you get to see Sam duel it out. Because the other ones with Sam, like with that girl that he kills, it's so quick and you don't really get to see much.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of surprised the way this movie was shot in general, like just the whole feel of it. I mean, the director of this only did like, X-Men and Superman. So this was kind of like way off of his normal path.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't really expect a finished product this good.
I guess it was something that he always wanted to do, a true horror film about... I feel like this movie is a lot about people that disrespect Halloween or don't care about Halloween, kind of get what's coming to them.
Yep, and going back to the bus driver guy, he survives Sam because he just picks up that piece of candy with the sucker. You think he's going to stab him like he does everybody else, and just eats it and walks away.
Yeah. I think, he kind of learned his lesson is what it was, kind of. And he's already, suffering,
Yeah, then he just, Sam kill his dog, too? I think he, snaps his neck or something, so you hear it, yip or something. But, yeah, he answers the door to the trick-or-treaters because he has all those pumpkins. And he gives them, mints and random shit that he has in the house. And then the next time he answers the door, it's all the kids from the bus that he...
Yeah, the zombie kids.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
So,
the way they played that out.
Sam knew that he was going to end up getting took care of anyway, so...
Yep, I think he just crippled him for those things to get him quicker. He opens the door and... Yeah, that was fucking awesome. Those kids, I don't know. It's crazy that you'd have, a whole neighborhood. I guess it was more of, a wealthy area or something they want to get rid of. Their kids are, pissing them off because they didn't want to take care of them anymore.
Yeah, they had, special needs kids, and they tried to pay the bus driver to drive them off a cliff there. And so they won't be a burden on him anymore.
Yeah, the funny thing is he doesn't even do it. It's one of the kids that
Yeah.
gets the
He
seat
just
and
keeps
drives
saying,
it off.
wrong way, wrong
Yep,
way.
and he friggin' doesn't know how to drive, and just runs off the cliff anyway. So bus driver, all he was doing was checking the chains to make sure they're all giving him a piece of candy if they were good. Yeah, but you can tell that kind of, I don't know, for his old age, he's just a miserable old bastard. So you can tell it probably affected him somewhat. I don't know, like to some degree. I don't know. You'd think there was some remorse in there a little bit, but
Well, they said that they weren't, they didn't even know what happened to the bus driver, so he probably like was just kind of hiding out in that house, and nobody knew he was really there by that name and stuff. So
yeah,
he just had to kind of hide from everybody.
yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you see stuff going on throughout the movie, like the couple at the beginning, you see them in the parade, like, later on and stuff, and everything's kind of intertwined throughout
Yeah,
the
you have
film.
the girl. They show a flashback at the beginning again, where you have the girl with the wagon with the pumpkins, and those girls in the car, like have to stop because she's in the way, and then it's all like on the same like block of road or whatever.
Everybody that's shown in this film is connected to somebody somehow. Like,
Yep.
but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty fun movie.
Yeah. I don't know. Like it seems like Sam's like one of the better. Like I mean, because with 2000s we really don't have. I mean, you don't really
A
have
new
a lot of.
icon or something.
Yeah, he's definitely more of a newer icon. I wish they would have done more with him.
Well, they announced, part two coming out like years ago, and it's still not out. It's supposed to be like Days of the Dead or Day of the Dead or something. Trick or Treat.
Because I mean, yeah, that would be cool. Because I mean, you don't have. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you got Chucky, Pinhead, Freddy, Jason, and you have all these other ones, and like Pennywise is the new one now that everyone's all crazy about. But
I mean, I feel like you would just do the same thing you did with this one, except do all new stories with a. I mean, you could even
yeah,
do like American Horror Story style and keep like the same cast members, and then just do a whole
they could
different
do
stories.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could do something with it. Yeah, it looked like they had comic. I don't know if they have actual comic books or not, but maybe there's other stories to it. But
But
'cause
yeah,
that's how they kind of play it off in the movie. It's like showing from like scene to scene through like a book a little bit.
I mean, they've been talking about a sequel for like 10 years now. It's like, it's kind of like waiting on Freddy versus Jason forever. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, like I don't really a lot of those I don't believe them until they actually make release dates because there's so many people like I've had friends tell me they're like, oh, there's supposed to be Michael Myers versus Jason or something. I'm like, yeah, you heard a bunch of bullshit, buddy.
Or like we've had
Like,
the Freddy versus Jason versus Ash comic book for a while now, but where's the movie? Like,
yeah, there's tons of people that get amped up about them, but I mean, anyone can create a Photoshop a photo
Yeah.
together
yeah,
online.
I feel they do
claim
that all the
it's
time on Facebook groups, man.
They do, yeah. It's you don't know what's real and what's not real is the problem. Like if they're actually if this is serious or not, and then people I feel like just start to believe it's gonna be real, and you never get the finished product. So until they actually go, yeah, this is gonna be this year, then I'll start paying attention. But a lot of those, it's like the new Friday the 13th film. When the hell is that coming out? I'm not gonna worry about it till they actually say, hey, it's gonna be this year.
Yep. And they did the same thing with Elm Street. They're supposed to make a part two and
Yep.
be an actual remake of part. No, they're supposed to just go straight to Dream Warriors instead of doing part two. But anyway, going back to Trick or Treat, we got a 6.8 on IMDb. I'm probably about right there with them. Probably about a 7 out of 10. I just feel like it's, like one of the perfect Halloween time watches. And
Yeah, I'd probably give this like a 7.5. Yeah, it's definitely it's more of a funner one to watch every year, in my opinion. Like it's definitely the better one of I think out of all these today that we're watching.
And again, I think it's more of a one you can watch with younger kids too. I think the only even possible like nude scenes is when they're turning into the werewolves and stuff.
Yeah, I think you see some boobs,
Like
but
very, very briefly.
yeah,
Other than that, there's not really mean, there's some gore here and there, but nothing extreme.
Yeah. I mean, you could just watch it first and decide if you want to show it to your family or whatnot.
I mean, I'm going to show it to like a 5-year-old, but 12,
Yeah.
13, whatever.
So yeah.
I was trying to see what this film made. I'm not seeing anything here. I was trying to find the Trick or Treat 2 stuff, but see if there was any new information on it. Because even like when I posted on Facebook that I was watching this or whatever, it brought up like the new one, like
Oh,
picture.
really? People were talking about it?
Well, it brought up the picture for the Day of the Dead one or whatever. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
No.
The one guy that plays Sam, wasn't he like at Monster Mania this year?
Yeah, Quinn Lord. He's done a few conventions.
It'd be cool if he came out here, man, to Chicago or Minneapolis. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, this says it's still, plot unknown, a sequel to the 2007 film. Nothing really going on part 2 yet.
Yep.
This was as of February this year. So, we'll see if it ever happens or not. It'd be nice if it does.
Yep, for sure.
Alright, so I think that's it for
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat there.
Definitely, I think like a must-watch for Halloween. Like, it fits it real well. If you're gonna watch if you're gonna pick out of films, this would be one of the better ones if you want to get in the spirit. Because there's not a whole lot of ones that are just trick or treating and the actual day of Halloween, where they're shot good and
Yeah, it was kind of hard for us to come up with films that just had the vibe of Halloween to it, as opposed to just doing like
slashers
Halloween movies or
yeah.
I mean, we all watch horror films during Halloween. Of course, we watch them all year long, but we just wanted to have that feel of Halloween.
The Halloween spirit, yeah, pretty much of getting you in the mood.
Okay, so Tales of Halloween, released in 2015, starring a whole shitload of people, actually. I know you have the announcer as Adrienne Barbeau from Swamp Thing, and there's a bunch of other people in here. You got Lynn Shay, Barry Bostwick from Spin City and stuff like that, and you got Caroline Williams, Robert Russler, Lisa Rose, Stuart Gordon McGarris, and John Landis, like cameos.
Yep, a lot of people. Tom Green was the director, right?
There was 10 different directors.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, it's 10 stories from 10 different directors, which, man, I seen it was only 1 hour and 37 minutes with 10 stories. I'm like, this might not be too great. So they're going to be really short, which they were for the most part.
They're kind of like ABCs of Death a
Right,
little bit, but
yeah.
better, in my opinion, because a lot of the ABCs of Death, it's...
Yeah, it had like 2 good ones out of all of them or something. Yeah,
It seems like it, yeah. There's not a whole lot of... There's a lot of crappy ones. Like,
Yeah.
they definitely... The directors on those pocketed the money. Like, they just were like... Like, some of them, like, the animation... You see some of the ones with animation on that? That was bullshit. Like, there was one, like, a head eating another head. It was like, wow. You just took the money.
I think ABC's of Death was more of a lot of first-time directors, like, trying to make a impact or something. I don't know if these were all first-timers or not. I didn't check into that, but I didn't really recognize any of the names on them.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
It's hard to rate, like, especially with this one, because it's like, do you rate individual stories, or do you just rate... I'm going to rate it as a whole.
Right, yeah. That's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah.
There was actually only
I mean-
a couple of them in here I didn't really care for, but
Yeah.
I thought most of them were pretty entertaining. But, you want me to run through all 10 of them real quick, or?
Yeah, we just do a quick, like, summary of them all.
Yeah, I just wrote, like, really brief synopsis of each story. So
I think we could add in there that one was good or this one sucked. One of the, just kind of throw that in there at the end, what we thought of individual stories, but we'll give you a rating for the whole.
This one might take a little longer than the other ones just because there's, 10 things to go over, but do the best I can to go through them quickly. So it starts out, first story is a kid and his babysitter and her boyfriend, and the boyfriend decides to tell him a story about Sweet Tooth. It was a kid that his parents took all his candy and stuff, let him go trick-or-treating and everything, but didn't let him have any of the candy. And the kid ends up, you're not sure if it's the kid or if it's this creature, but I guess it turned out to be the kid. Ends up killing his parents in the story, right?
Yep.
And
because he wants all the candy, he's hooked.
Even the candy that they have already eaten, so he tears up their stomachs and takes the candy out. And the kid that's being babysit does that to the babysitter and the boyfriend as well.
Well, he's like he puts a piece of candy by his bed or something, so I don't know if it's the spirit of that kid or whatever, but yeah, he goes there. The creature thing was kind of cool looking.
Yeah.
Rips the jaw. Does he rip the jaw off of the boyfriend or something? Because he knocks him out first. The boyfriend in the house comes in there.
He pulls out his inside of his mouth or something.
Yeah, did something to him like that. And then the girlfriend sees him because he says help, or I don't know. Because she wants to go get Pepto-Bismol or something.
Yeah.
Runs off to the kitchen, comes back.
He ends up taking her out as well.
Yep.
And then it shows, just the kid there eating the candy out of him at the end. So
yep.
You're like, well, I guess it was the kid the whole time, and this creature was in his imagination. He didn't know he was doing this stuff at the time.
Yep, and the parents arrive, and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But I like that one. I thought that one was pretty cool, especially...
Yeah, it's one of the better ones out of the, definitely in, the top bracket for him.
And then move on to the second story is this kid's with his sister and her boyfriend or something, right? And
yeah, trick-or-treating.
They want him to play pranks on the neighbor who they think is against Halloween or whatever, and he goes to egg his house or throw an egg at him or whatever, and he ends up bringing him inside, and it just goes from there to what you think is the little boy. Him and say what you think is a little boy go around the town and just fuck shit up all night.
Yeah, I first thought it was the kid, him influencing him and shit.
He's like, oh, I'll show you what a real prank is, and he's dressed as the devil or is the devil or something.
Yeah.
And so they just go around terrorizing everybody throughout the night, and he even writes I forget what his name, Billy something.
All over the place.
Yeah, he writes it on that garage door, owns the night or something, and you come to find out they get back to the house and the little kid was tied up the whole time, and it was this creature that was with him.
Like a little demon guy or whatever, yeah. But
yeah.
Did they kill anyone that night? I think they did.
Yeah, yeah. Because they were
they
shooting guns at him and running him over and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
So then the cops come right outside that guy's house.
Yep. They put the mask back on the little kid. And he walks out and there's the cops and he gets blamed for everything.
Yep.
So yeah, he pranked him good. That's for sure.
Yeah, and then it was funny too because the neighbor's like, "Is your mom wearing that one outfit again?" Cause
yeah, the sister's boyfriend's asking it at the beginning. Is your mom would dress up as a cat or something again? Or
yeah, then the one what's it called? The girlfriend gets all pissed off at him. It's like, "You pig" or whatever.
Yeah, they try to go all dark with the devil guy, and then he says that. It kind of lightens the mood a little bit.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that you'd see them. I don't think you ever see her, but
but you do see throughout the movie some an
random
older lady dressed as a cat.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't her.
Yeah, this one was just okay to me. I mean, it was entertaining, but I don't know. It's it's missing something.
The one woman dressed as a cat, it was some weird orgy shit going on in there with costumes or some crap. And the kids answered they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, did you like this one? The second story?
It's, I don't know, I thought it was good, but it's not, like, my top, like, out of the top ones I have, but it's still pretty good, I thought, like...
I mean, it was real fast-paced.
I'd give it in, like, the medium bracket for the ones, like, it didn't suck and it wasn't, like, overly awesome. It reminded me of more, like, the Twilight Zone or Night Gallery or something, kind of like, it's like an episode on something like that. It's where you would see something like this.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty entertaining and went by quick, but it just felt like it was lacking something. I don't know. But so yeah, third story, you got a group of kids kill a bunch of adults in this house, and you're like, why the fuck are they killing them? You know, like what's going on? You know, they're just like stabbing them right in the stomach and just messing them up good. And come to find out, you know, the one chick's like hiding from him, and she's deleting all these photos from her phone of this little girl.
She can't really call 911 on it because they come there, they're going to realize they were torturing, you know, they're going to find evidence of them torturing that little girl.
Keeping one of their friends hostage or something, and took her eye out and some other stuff. And
because she hesitates to call 911, doesn't she? And
yeah, she starts to call them, and then that's when she goes in to delete all those photos.
Yeah. It's not like, you know, that they can bring your history up, you know. It's kind of funny. Like, she's deleting the photos, but...
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's one of the first things you're going to think of, I guess. I mean...
Yeah, she's like, oh shit, I'm on some deep shit. But what's great about that is the kid that they ripped the eye out of, she takes an axe.
Yeah, she gets the final kill right there.
Yep. That was kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was one of the shorter ones, too.
I didn't really care for this one as much, personally. Like, I thought it was one of the worst ones out of them, but, like, I just didn't.
I mean, I feel like that one would have had to been like a feature-length movie or something, you know, to really get the gist of what's going on.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, why the fuck are they killing these people? What's going on?
It's like some Children of the Corn shit.
But, yeah, you had no, like, backstory on anything, really. You just
Not really, other than them torturing the one girl or whatever.
Your whole backstory is the photos in her phone, and then showing her on the table. So, yeah, it was okay. I mean, I didn't necessarily hate any of these, but the fourth one is little kind of nerdy kids getting picked on by these three, I don't really know what to call them. I guess, like, you know, with the badasses of the neighborhood or something. And then another kid shows up in, like, the alleyway there, and they go after him instead. He, like, shows them a picture of, like, a monster or something. And
they just throw it on the ground,
tells him something about it. And they chase after him, and it leads to, I guess...
Run-up trailer.
Yeah, where back when they were all little kids... even littler than they are now, they killed his parents in this trailer, and he like summons this monster to take him out.
Yep.
Which I thought the monster was pretty cool in it.
Yeah, the monster was cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't really care for that one either, though.
The chick was hot. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, she was pretty hot. You know, they were like BMX riders and stuff too, like their little gang.
Yeah, like. I don't know, it's funny that she was like, you know, this group when they're kids, she runs it, and she's still running it today. They're probably like in their 20s or some shit, you know, fucking people up on Halloween, taking their candy or whatever. But yeah, the monster comes there and kills them all. Does he kill the other kid too, or no? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I really don't know. I mean, like I say, a lot of these, there's not enough story to them.
Yeah.
You know. But again, I didn't hate it, didn't love it. You know, it was all right.
Just okay. Yeah.
The fifth one, this is probably my least favorite of the whole bunch. It's something about Mary Bailey. You know, if you look at Mary Bailey, that she'll take your eyes or whatever. And this is the one with Lynn Shay from Insidious. Yeah.
Yeah, and Conjuring and all that. I think is she in like a bunch of haunting movies?
Is it Insidious or Conjuring that she's in?
It's one. No, she's in Insidious. I don't know if
Yeah.
she's in.
Yeah. No,
Is she
she's-
in like Annabelle or something? I don't know. I feel like she was in the like. Because I know those are kind of like related a little bit. She's in a bunch of like haunting shit. Let's just say that because she's in stuff with ghosts a lot.
Yeah, she's one of those actresses that kind of made a mark at an older age. You know.
Yeah, I think she was in stuff younger, but it's just not like she was in stuff I saw, and I was like, oh, I recognized her,
But you
but
didn't know who
she's
she
not.
was then. Yeah.
Yeah, she's not like in big roles from what I remember until she's older with like all the haunting stuff. She's always like the storyteller or the medium or, consent stuff. But yeah, she's in the beginning, she's barely in it. She talks to them about the story and then the one girl leaves.
That's like her daughter, isn't it?
I don't know who the hell it is. Yeah, somebody in the party probably. Probably her daughter. And then she leaves and her car fucks up and she's forced to walk.
Yeah,
That's
she
when she
smashes her
gets-
phone and when she puts the hood down, so she can't get a hold of anybody or nothing.
Nope.
And she's trying not to look behind her. She knows there's something behind her, but yeah,
She gets to her house.
she's from the Insidious. She was in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I thought so. That's what
Oh yeah, she was the teacher.
Yeah.
That's right. Something about Mary. Yeah.
So she gets to her house, right, and then like she thinks it's right behind her, but you can't even see anything. And then what happens when she gets to the house? Because I kind of forget.
She thinks there's something coming in, but it turns out to be her dog, and then it just goes to her and her dog sitting on the couch watching Night of the Living Dead, like that's shown in all the scenes. But it's
they
one of
put
those
that
things
movie
you
a
can
lot in
show
here.
because it's not copyrighted or whatever. So
Yeah, they play the hell out of that movie in this, by the
yeah,
way.
they do. But it
And,
relates to what's going on, like the scenes they choose to show, and Night of the Living
Then
Dead goes on.
She
to
just pops up out of nowhere, that girl, right? Like sits next to her, kind of.
Yep.
Yep.
But she's already got eyes, so I don't know what she's taking her eyes too. It doesn't show her take her eyes or anything. It just ends.
Yep.
It's kind of like, okay. What? Yeah, she wasn't in the Conjuring movie. She was just in Insidious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to get those confused, though.
It is.
So yeah, this one was just, I don't know. This one didn't really do anything for me.
Yeah, just okay. It's probably one of the worster ones I feel like out of them.
Yeah.
And the next one is that the pumpkin one.
Let's see. The next one is the chick that wants the baby,
Wants the baby.
dressed as the witch.
Oh,
chick
you're
from
right.
Walking
Yeah,
Dead.
she wants to
Yeah.
eat the kids and shit.
Well, she doesn't want to eat the kids. She just wants a kid.
She makes her husband, like, you can tell she's the dominant one, or
Yeah.
like tells him what to do and everything. He just follows her, and then she's trying to get the kids in the house. Like with
She's pissed off because she can't have a kid, so she wants to take one of these trick-or-treaters or something for her own or something.
yeah, that one she tries again, and the one guy, Jipper, he fucks it up purposely.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're not gonna torture him like you torture me," and then she throws his ass in the oven, and
Well, she
That's-
finds out that he went and got it fucking snipped, so he couldn't give
Oh,
her a kid,
yeah,
so
I-
she's like, all right, fuck this, you're going in.
yeah,
But, yeah, that one just, it kept, like, flashing to, like, her fixing her fucking tits and getting ready,
Putting that thing in
open
her
the
mouth,
door.
yeah,
And it
with
kept
the
doing
ear.
the same thing over and over. Like, yeah, I ate her ear last so she could hear, me eating the rest of her or something. Like, yeah, that one is really strange. And he was dressed up as Hansel, and then, yeah, the one little kid is dressed up as Hansel.
yep. And yeah, it was kind of a weaker one in my opinion.
I mean, I like the demon part of it, though. That
Demon
pretty
part
cool.
was cool, but just I don't know. Then it's the pumpkin one, right?
No, the next one is the neighbors fighting over
Oh, you're right.
the
and
Halloween
then-
displays.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That one I didn't really
Pumpkin
care
was
for
the last
much
one, I
either.
think. Or-
Yeah, it is. Well, no, the kidnap one is after this one, I think, and then the pumpkin one. Or
Not sure. So yeah,
Wait, no, there's a slasher one too.
you got
Forgot about that.
neighbors in the seventh one here fighting over whose Halloween display is better, and the older guy that does more of the classic monster setup, and then you got like the metal punk rocker guys, whatever they are, on the other side with more of the newer kind of haunted house type setup over there, and he's
Lots
trying to
of
get
gore
them
and
to turn
shit.
their shit down, and they get
They end
into
up
a. I keep
into a
cutting you off.
fight.
Go ahead.
Oh. Yeah, they kill each other.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. They have a big fight, and they end up both getting killed.
Yep, they go through a
So,
stake.
yeah. I kind of enjoyed that one, though. I thought it was pretty fun.
I'm trying to think. Was the guy, the longer-haired metalhead guy, was he? He looked familiar. I don't know what the hell. Maybe he's not, but
Yeah, I thought he sounded familiar and stuff, too. I couldn't think of who he was.
I couldn't picture who he was though. Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next episode, which was Friday the 31st. You want to run through that one real quick?
Yeah, it's about it's kind of like almost like a Victor Crowley / Jason Voorhees killer running around, um, trying to kill the one girl, and then he goes in the shed with her, and then she kind of escapes out the back. Then, like an alien spacecraft comes up when he stabs her, throws that thing through her, right?
Yeah, that spear thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the aliens like comes down and asks the thing trick or treat, which is pretty funny. Cause the
He's
killer's
all
like,
trying to find some candy or something to give to him. He's like,
he's
"Oh, I
like,
don't have anything."
I don't know. He's like just doing the jester stuff, and then he gets fed up with him after he keeps saying it, and he just stomps on him, and then like the ooze from that alien goes in the like it's like a clay type thing goes inside her mouth and takes her over. It's like it turns over to like a demon possessed floating person at him, and they go back into the shed where they came out of, like when she tried to escape from him and realized it was kind of his torture shed or whatever. And then it's pretty much just like a battle, limb after limb getting hacked from both, which is actually kind of fun to watch. Like all the blood splatter, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And uh, was I mistaken, or was one of the heads back there kind of looked like Victor Crowley's head? Like they just pan over for like a half a second that
Yeah,
they had in the background.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was. I don't remember if there was. I remember all the killing tools and stuff on the shed, but
I mean, you can definitely tell these people that made this one were inspired by, those two franchises, the Hatchet and, Friday the 13th franchises.
wasn't it the same guy that made it though, Adam Green? Or
I don't know. I have to
I
probably
think
look that up.
pretty sure. I think same guy that did Hatchet. Find out.
Maybe he did. I don't know. But yeah, lots of bloodshed, lots of great special effects. I mean, you could tell, all of it was practical except for, the two stop motion scenes going in the mouth and coming back out of the mouth were definitely stop motion. But,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely old school effects. So one of the better ones in the whole movie there, for sure.
Yeah, it's more entertaining than most of them because there's some that aren't as good.
Yeah, it was nice seeing the main killer like get worried that he was gonna get taken out.
Yep, and then it's just a bloodbath, and it's fun to watch.
So that was one of your favorite ones out of it too, wasn't it?
Yeah, if I had to pick.
Yeah, the little alien's pretty cool though. Took a tweet.
Yeah. There's even like I've seen at cons like shirts of that before. Like
Oh really? I haven't seen any of those.
yeah, apparently at certain ones you can like I don't know if they like necessarily have the stuff from this movie or if it's just the alien, but I've seen the shirts from people like on YouTube and stuff. Apparently, you can get them at some of the horror cons. I don't know where, like which ones, but yeah, like from people with their pickups and stuff. So,
So yeah, moving on to the next one. What was it called? The kidnapping one.
it was the ransom of Rusty Rex.
Right. So yeah, you got the two guys planning a kidnapping from a wealthy person played by John Landis, and they kidnap what they think is his son and take him back to their hideout or whatever, and they're trying to get the dad to pay, the $5 million ransom or whatever the amount was, and he doesn't want anything to do with it. He's your problem now and all that stuff, and they turn around and he's gone, and they realize that he's not exactly a kid. He's like some kind of demon or something. And then, yeah, things ensue. They try to get rid of him a few times, a few different ways, and they finally get the supposed dad to say, ask him what's going on, and he's like, "Hey, he showed up at my door 5 years ago, and he's been holding us hostage, and he's your problem now, and just make sure he gets fed, and if not, he's going to find a way to eat."
Yep. Yeah, he's just like a little goblin creature, and I don't know. That one was pretty decent, I think.
Yeah,
It was pretty entertaining because you want to keep knowing what the creature would do, and it starts out all innocent, like you think that poor little kid's a kid, and then you realize it just flips just like that, and they're kind of the victims at that point. Like it does a whole switch over, which is cool.
yep. And they think they get rid of him there at the end, and he shows back up in the van, which I'm curious to know how he shows back up so fast. Even when they take him to the bog and stuff, and he's just like back. I don't know if he has some kind of like
Yeah.
what do you call it? Not like time travel, but like what? Yeah,
Best way to put it. Yeah, I don't. The backstory on him, I don't know. Like, what would. Like, you mean you're talking about the guy that he calls? Or the.
no, the demon thing. Like, how does he get back so fast?
Oh, yeah, they don't really go into it, I don't think.
He can just be where he wants to be at any point in time. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's like he has to be took care of by somebody. He has to keep one of them alive and
Yeah.
have that like parent figure. But you do have Jose Pablo Cantino in there from Walking Dead
Yeah.
as one of the kidnappers. Are you still trying to look that up? Is that
Yeah.
what you're doing?
Yeah, he's apparently the
Yeah,
cop in
Adam Green did
The cop.
This Means War and Bad Seed.
Yeah, that's what it was. I had to know. I knew he had something to do with it. Like, I was like, okay, I'm going to find out now.
Yeah, he was the cop and Carlo.
Yeah. So,
Wait,
alright.
what's This Means War? Oh, that's the one with the two guys that we just talked about. Yeah.
Yeah, where they fought over. That one was actually kind of entertaining too, where the Halloween decorations, because I miss that shit. Like with Halloween, like when you were kids, I felt like it was a hell of a lot better now. It just seems like everyone's offended by everything now. So like you can't like. Have you seen that where people like have to take their displays down because people get like oh that's pisses me off seeing that every day. Like I don't know. Like doesn't it seem like that? Like if your display is too scary, that you have to. Is there a rule like that or something or?
I mean, not that I know of around where I am, but I'm
Oh,
sure there is in certain parts.
yeah. Like, I don't know, 'cause some of those displays are just fun as hell to look at. I've seen some in the Facebook groups, and, like, man, they go all out. Like, they buy the animatronics and all that shit.
Yeah, that Friday the 31st one was directed by Mike Mendez. I don't know who that is, but looks like he worked on like Big Ass Spider, Don't Kill It, Grave Dancers.
Yeah.
So yeah, the last one was your favorite one, right? Bad Seed.
Oh, I just love the pumpkin. Man, this was the best one. You know, he's on the cover. So it's got like, and like when you open, I guess it's not technically the cover, but you know, like if you buy like the one that had like the box looking thing to this for the Blu-ray, I'm pretty sure he was like the inner flap thing. You get the pumpkin's face on it. I don't
Well,
know
I
what.
mean, it's not Halloween without a pumpkin, right?
Yeah, I suppose, but yeah, coolest one, man. He's got
Yeah, I
the
mean, it started out pretty cool with
the
the guy
carving.
carving him, and then the trick or treater getting taken out by it. But then after that, it just went to shit. Yeah.
Wasn't it like jumping and shit on cars and like attacking pretty much anybody at that point? Like it, like I don't know, it attacked like a trick or treater, and the mom was like, "What the hell?"
Well, it's just like, at the end there, she just takes it out with a shotgun. Like nobody could like bash the fuck out of it or shoot it before she got there. Like
Yeah, no one could take it down. I mean, that thing was unstoppable, just killing trick or treaters left and right and everybody.
it's like all you'd have to do is run it over. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I
Doesn't
don't.
really make sense.
No, it doesn't. And then they find out that it has like a label on it, and these pumpkins are in this huge facility. And yeah, and, like I think the first claims to it, people are like, "Oh, I don't believe that." I mean, like when they first investigated the crime on Halloween, you would definitely think that they thought that that girl killed the boyfriend or husband or whatever the hell it was. They're not gonna believe a pumpkin chopped his head off.
Yeah, but they were just all going along with it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it made
Oh,
no sense.
I ran it through a 3D printer. This is what it came out with.
Yep. I don't know. And then like that big factory, he didn't want to show him anything. It was just the one guy working there. I don't know. It just fuck that shit.
I think it could have been cool if they would have just kept over the topness out of it and made it like just kind of darker than it was. I mean, I
Yeah,
know they wanted you to have fun with it or whatever, but
I think it would have been better if they would have had that scientist like going around maybe replacing the pumpkins maybe out with his pumpkins. I don't know, or something more with the lines of that, like him controlling it more. Like because it's kind of like I don't know. There's only one pumpkin doing this. I don't know because he had that whole factory of selling these things. I don't know. It just didn't like it.
and it must have been the first one in that area to get I think you have to like bring him to life to for that to happen though. You have to carve it and get
Oh
it
yeah, you're right. So
get it
yeah,
going.
yeah.
So yeah, that one wasn't the best, but what's your overall thoughts on Tales of Halloween though?
I'd say most of them are pretty good overall. Like yeah, you got a couple ones that aren't like this one's probably obviously the worst, but uh, you want to go to ratings on it or
Yeah, good.
yeah, I would say like probably like a 6 to 7 ish. I don't know, 6.5 probably. That's what I'd give it out of 10.
Yeah, I'm probably right there with you, about 6.5.
Yeah,
You know, at least half or more of the segments were pretty enjoyable,
yeah.
especially the first one.
I think it's definitely something. I mean, the thing is, you can just watch each individual thing. Like, if you just want to cut it out, like you don't have to sit here and watch the whole thing if you don't want to. That's what's kind of nice about it.
Yeah, I mean, some of it kind of blends together. You see some of the same characters from previous, segments and stuff throughout it, but it doesn't really like completely tie together like a Trick or Treat did, you
Yeah,
know. So yeah, like you said, you can just skip to the ones you like and just enjoy the little 10, 15 minute segment and move on.
yeah. Trick or Treat. I really wish they would have done more with that. Like, I don't know. It's like for our age though, I feel like that's iconic. Like out of the 2000s and stuff, like what's came out of horror.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people know of the Trick or Treat.